Every day on There's No Taste Like Home, Chef Gino Campo will take 3 family cooks and the recipes that have been passed down through their families from generation to generation, out of the home and into a professional kitchen.
Come on, let's get cooking.
Together, they'll serve up their treasured dishes to paying customers, and the winning dish, judged by Gino, will be added to the restaurant's menu for a month.
Remember, this is your great-grandmother's recipes
To prove
that there is no taste like home.
on today's show, a delicious working-class game pie that once fed a family of 13 children and has been passed down 4 generations.
Always home cooking. Nothing at all was bought. No fish fingers or frozen meals or anything.
An amazing Iraqi-Jewish dish originally enjoyed on Shabbat or Holy Day.
Saturday morning in Iraqi-Jewish household, that's the dish you have for breakfast.
And a stunning seafood noodle recipe with heritage stretching back to the 13th century.
I got taught this dish back in Singapore in my auntie's store, and then I've been practicing when I come home.
Hi, I'm Gino Campo and welcome to There's No Taste Like Home. Today, I'm in the home of the Scousers, Liverpool. This city has a great history with food and it can be traced back since 1190. And back then was known as Liverpool. You know why? Because the River Mersey behind me was full of baby hills. When the Albert Docks were built in 1846, it opened up the city to the rest of the world. Exotic food started to pour in and the lucky Liverpoolian got to try food from the Far East and India. Well, 150 years later, the people of Liverpool, they will have the chance to try my 3 home cooks food ready for service at lunch in this beautiful restaurant. They'll be serving up 3 wonderful dishes that have been in their families for generations. But how they will go down with paying customer? Well, let's get in there and meet today's cooks and prove one more time that there's no taste like home.
Today's cooks are Edie Pope, who is baking her grandma Tyra's rabbit and bacon pie served with seasonal vegetables. David Hackak, who is making his grandmother Farcha's Sabich, a vegetarian meal of stuffed pitta, served with salad. And Perry N.G., who is cooking his grandma Amma's Hoki and Me, prawn and squid fried noodles served with a topping of crispy shallots and sliced limes.
So guys, welcome to a professional kitchen. What do you think?
Very big.
Brilliant.
It's nice. Is it a bit different from your kitchen, I guess?
Yeah.
Your recipes, I've seen them, okay? You got a lot of preparation to do. So get on with it, look after each other, and I'm gonna watch you. I'm going to watch you.
Let's meet our first cook and find out about her special dish. Edie Pope is a 64-year-old farmer from Lydiate in Merseyside. She has 6 grown-up children. Her dish is Grandma Tyra's rabbit and bacon pie served with seasonal vegetables. Being from a family of busy farmers, this dish has been a staple meal in the Pope family for years because it simply looks after itself.
This is Grandma Tyra's rabbit and bacon pie. I like cooking rabbit pie because it's something that you can prepare and put in the oven and leave it while I get on with other jobs on the farm. I've cut the rabbit into portions and I'm now going to bring it to the boil and cook it for about an hour or an hour and a quarter. And you use the stock for the gravy for the rabbit pie.
While the rabbit cooks, Edie gets on collecting today's eggs from her chickens.
Right, I'm now taking the rabbit off the bones, ready to cut it up and put it into the pie. I'm frying the bacon because it makes it a better flavour in the pie, I think. Now we'll just leave that to crisp a little bit. You cut up your shallots and mushrooms and fry those. I'm doing the pastry now for on top of the rabbit pie. Plain flour I'm using, lard and margarine. And you just mix that up until it resembles breadcrumbs. Mum said, you'll never be good at baking, your hands are too big. but she did admit that she was wrong. Add some icy cold water until it binds together. Let that rest a little minute. This is the stock off the rabbit now, and I've added flour and some gravy browning, and I'm just going to pour this over the top of the rabbit, streaky bacon, mushroom and shallots. Next, we're going to roll out the pastry to cover the pie dish. This is my blackbird, and you bake it in the pie in the centre so that the steam rises and comes out the top, and that stops your pastry from going soggy. These are the eggs that I've collected off the hens, off a couple of them this morning, and they were still warm when we brought them into the kitchen. And that is ready for the oven. And now it's time to serve up.
That's Edie's Grandma Tyra's rabbit and bacon pie served with seasonal vegetables, a dish that's steeped in rural England's heritage.
So, Edie, what should I know about your recipe?
It started in the late 1800s with Grandma Tyra, Louise Tyra, when she used to do it for her family because she had 6 children. Then she passed it down to Mum, who had 13 children.
Wow.
And of course, living on a farm, rabbits were readily available, and we could get the vegetables easily enough to put everything in. When the rabbits arrived, it was my job to skin them and clean them and then joint them into a dish, and then Mum took over from there. Always home cooking. Nothing at all was bought. No fish fingers or frozen meals or anything. No, everything was home cooked. Mum, oh, what can you say? I know everyone says their mum's the best. My mum was the best. Very strict parents, both of them. Bed at 7 o'clock, whether you liked it or not, but as she so rightly was proud to say, never a policeman knocked on our door. 3 years ago, she died. She had 57 grandchildren and 68 great-grandchildren.
Amazing woman.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
How do you feel being in a professional kitchen? Because, of course, you always cooked at home, your family around. All of a sudden, you're cooking with strangers in a kitchen that you don't know.
We were used to cooking in volume. Friday night, would be like 6 apple pies, 6 rhubarb pies, if that was in season,
It was a restaurant or something in your house.
That's it. But my children also know.
6 apple pies?
Yes. But that's what you would need for the weekend, you see, for the desserts.
So, Edie, what would it mean to you and to your family and to the dish to win today and be on a restaurant menu?
It would be lovely because we are arable farmers, and it blends in with farming because we have all our own vegetables to be able to add to the dish, and just to keep it going for generations to come, hopefully. As people are learning now to cook instead of all these prepared meals, I think they will try things like this.
So you're really doing it for your family, but also for all the farmers out there?
Yes, yes.
Edie begins preparing her dish by jointing the rabbits and lightly boiling them. She's already aware of the task that lies ahead.
I've got an awful lot to do today, so time is very important. I like to be on time. So hopefully I can get the rabbits cooking and then prepare everything else. And once I know that sort of an hour to go, I know that everything will be right then. And it looks nice and it tastes nice.
Come on, you're gonna have to agree with me. What an amazing recipe we had so far. But join me next. I have 2 more cooks to meet with amazing family dishes.
Coming up, 2 more tantalizing recipes, a very special Iraqi-Jewish feast, and a seafood extravaganza that has traveled all the way from Singapore.
How long for the 5 noodles?
And service proves to be too much for one of our cooks.
Come on.
Hang on, Gino, hang on.
Lime.
Hey, they're a little bit panicky now. I haven't got a clue what's going on.
Welcome back to Days Not Taste Like Home, where today I'm in Liverpool, in this beautiful professional kitchen where all my 3 home cooks are busy preparing their dishes. Now, before the break, we had an amazing family recipe with a lot of history, but we still have 2 more to come. So let's find out who's gonna be my next cook.
David Hackak is a 53-year-old psychologist who lives in Liverpool and describes himself as a bit of a joker. Today, he's cooking his grandmother Farcha's pita stuffed with boiled eggs and aubergines and served with hummus and salad. Sabich is a popular dish in Israel that is traditionally eaten by Iraqi Jews on the holiest day of the week.
This is how I make my grandma Farha Iraqi-Jewish dish called Sabich. I'm starting by making the pita bread. I love cooking this dish because, first of all, this is what I'm used to have from back home when I was a child. My mother used to do it, to make it every Shabbat, every Saturday. We take 1 cup of flour, 1 spoon of dry yeast, 1 cup of warm water. To the second bowl, 2 cups of flour. You can tell that the yeast is starting to do its job. You are mixing 3 spoons of olive oil. Gradually, you add to the second bowl. There is nothing like playing with your hands. Really nice. You cover it, and then you leave it for another 2 hours. Right? While the dough is raising, you prepare the hummus. Well, Israelis will say this is their dish, which is incorrect, because Egyptian will claim it's theirs, Iraqi will claim it's theirs. You know what? It's tasty. Who cares who claims it is? This was 1 cup of chickpeas. You have to boil it for at least 20 minutes. Then what I do, I dry it into the bowl. Put it in a mixer and gradually... Right. We're adding garlic into the mix. Dry a bit. Now you add the tahini. Then we're going to add it now, lemon. Actually, there is a phrase in Hebrew. It says, limon mosif hamon. Limon, lemon, mosif, add a lot. We're adding, and best ingredients for the hummus is cumin. You can use parsley. You mix for the last time. I'm good.
To create the perfect colour and texture for his eggs, David began his preparations last night. They've now been cooking for 12 hours.
What happens is the colour of the onion will come inside the eggs. Do you like it? Don't you think it smells nice? Smell it. Yeah, it's good. Right, you take the knife. We are going to make the aubergine. Voila! The sound of frying aubergine, it's fantastic. Leave it for at least 1 minute to rest in the oil, and you already see this gold, beautiful color of the aubergine. Now that we're going to flatten the dough, we rest it for 45 minutes. We're taking the baking paper and we place them on the baking paper. You see, you have a proper pita look like, but it's not baked yet. And the only thing you need to do now is just bake it for 7 to 10 minutes. You'll see when it's becoming yellow and goldy and it's nice. Now I combined all the ingredients and served with simple tomato salad.
That's David's grandmother Farcha's pita stuffed with boiled eggs and fried aubergines and served with hummus and salad, a dish with a very intriguing history.
Now, tell me, where did it all start with this recipe?
It's a very traditional Iraqi-Jewish recipe.
Okay.
Saturday morning in an Iraqi-Jewish household, that's the dish you have for breakfast.
Okay.
It started the 1800s in Iraq with my grandmother. My grandmother was a big, massive lady. I don't mean fat, I mean really tall, a proper lady. She died 102 years
102?
old. And she was really old. You wouldn't dare to cross her. We were still on a deathbed, petrified of her. I was born in Israel. My mom moved with my siblings and my dad to Israel in the 1950s. And I moved to England in 1996, and I brought it from Iraq via Israel to Liverpool.
Tell me the memories that you have when you were a little boy in the kitchen with your mom, anything that comes up in your mind.
When I was maybe 4 or 5 years old, the smell of aubergine frying is fantastic. Then I didn't ask. I entered the kitchen, pinch one slice of aubergine, put in my mouth. It burned my tongue, and I was like really screaming, but with no sound whatsoever. And my mom said, fantastic, the child is quiet for 5 minutes. Thank God for that.
How old would you think this recipe would be? Are we safe to say that it's over 100 years old?
Oh, well over 100 years. Because I asked my mother now she's way into the late 80s. And I said, how old is this dish? And she said, how do I remember? And I said, well, is it like you created it or the family? And she said, of course not. It runs in a generation
for a long time.
And everyone is like adding things into it, you know.
What would it mean to you today to win and have your family recipe in this beautiful restaurant for 1 month?
It will be amazing because no one in England never heard of this dish before. Okay. Really, people around here and the new generation, people don't like, to use the old thing. They think it's too, and I think that's what I want them to be familiar. And if after that they're going to say, are there any more dishes, Iraqi-Jewish dishes? Well, there are plenty of
course.
And we can bring it back to this country.
You want the people to experience the culture, that you have, and growing up, and the experience that you had.
David's preparations for service began the night before with his eggs slow cooking with the onion skins to achieve the desired colour, taste and texture. His complex and time-consuming dish is a real challenge for a professional kitchen, but he's determined to get it right.
Last night I prepared the chickpeas and prepared the eggs. You see, it's a Jewish dish, and Jewish dish takes a long, long time to take your breath away. We need to do it the day before because when you see the eggs, you'll understand it has to take colors, and the colors can be taken only if it's cooked overnight. Otherwise, there's no chance.
Another great recipe full of memories, but it's not over yet. So let's find out what our next cook is serving up.
Perry NG is a 36-year-old married father of 2 from Liverpool, here with son Perry Jr. and daughter Georgia. Today, he's making a dish that originated from over 4,000 miles away. Grandma Amma's prawn and squid fried noodles. The dish began its life in China before Perry's aunt moved to Singapore, taking the dish with her. It has always been a firm family favourite.
This is how I'm going to make Amma, Goxby Goes, Hockey and Me. Well, it was my grandmother's dish, then my grandmother then taught me auntie, who then taught me father, who then taught me. The shells have got all the flavour. I'll stir fry the shells and the heads, and then I'll boil them and let it simmer to bring all the stock out. I'll stir fry for a couple of minutes till you start getting the smell of the prawn shell. And then I'll add the water. I'm now going to sieve the prawn stock. I can get rid of them now, because I've got the juice. I like to blanch the prawns first because the cooking's so quick. Now I'll chop up the fish cake and get ready to stir fry. Traditionally, my grandmother used to make the fish cakes herself. When my dad first comes to the country, he also made fish cakes and sold to the Chinese supermarkets, but for convenience, I just buy them in. I eat a lot of squid. My wife and children don't really like it. They think it tastes like elastic bands. I'm just going to smash the garlic, peel it and chop it, ready to stir fry. Let the wok get nice and warm. I'll then add the garlic. Now I'll add the egg. Now I'll add the squid. The smells remind me of being in Singapore in my auntie's noodle bar. I'm going to add the fish cake. Now I'm going to add the noodles, the prawns, You stir fry it now till it gets nice and warm. I'm going to add now the prawn stock, the sweet soy sauce, just a little bit of salt, and a mouth-watering. Add the bean sprouts, last thing, and that's it. Done, finished. I like to sprinkle crispy shallots on the dish, as my auntie does in Singapore.
That's Perry's Grandma Amma's prawn and squid fried noodles, served with a topping of crispy shallots and slices of lime. Gino is keen to find out more about this dish's Eastern heritage.
Perry, how you doing, okay?
Hi, Gino.
Fantastic. Now, tell me everything I should know about the beautiful recipe.
The recipe goes back to my grandma. My grandma then taught her daughter, which is my auntie. Then she taught my dad, and then he's then taught me.
Okay.
My dad left Singapore when he was 17 to come over to Liverpool to see the Beatles. He loved the Beatles. Met my mother in Liverpool, and then I come along. I got taught this dish back in Singapore in my auntie's stall, and then I've been practicing when I come home. My dad cooks it at home when we was kids. I've learned how to cook it, and that's where the dish come from. When I first ate the noodles was back in Singapore in the hawker market. It's like a big food market where I used to sit down there with all my family. My auntie would cook the noodles up and everyone would be there. And she's still running it to this day in Singapore.
Is your grandmother still with us?
Yeah, she's now 85.
85?
85.
See, you eat noodles with prawns and you live until 85 at least. That's what we say. Perry, what would it mean to you and to your family to have this dish on a restaurant menu?
It'd make me proud, it'd make my family very proud in Singapore that the dish has come all the way from Singapore and it's ended up in the top restaurants in Liverpool.
Now, you're using prawns.
Yeah.
And I guess you're gonna have to cook this recipe as I'm ordering.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do, well, get all the stock ready and everything, and then as you order, I'll be cooking dish by dish.
It's a bit concerning to me because what about if I have 4 tables with 6 or 7 noodles? How are you gonna deal with that?
I'll make 2 portions in each wok.
You know, I'll trust you.
Service is fast approaching, and with limited preparation time left, the pressure is rising for our 3 home cooks. In just over an hour, their dishes will be eaten by paying customers for the first time. Edie's rabbit and bacon pie is well underway, but she's concerned that the main ingredient of her dish might put the diners off.
I'm worried about people thinking of rabbit pie as, oh, a poor little bunny rabbit. It's a wild rabbit and they're specially farmed for cooking. If people will just give the dish a go and taste it, they'll be impressed how lean the meat is and how tasty it is.
Meanwhile, David seems to be taking things in his stride.
No worries, no fears. Everything is going... Ah, no, it's not. Yeah, everything going to plan.
But thinks that he is entitled to a little more help.
I'm a Jewish princess. I'm supposed to have someone to help me to do all this stuff. I'm not supposed to do it. I'm supposed to tell people how to do it.
And Perry has almost finished his preparations. For him, though, the real challenge will come during service.
Gino was saying that he's panicking a little bit because I've only got 3 minutes to cook from fresh onto a plate, out for service. I've got 2 woks, and Gino was saying, you know, I'm going to be under a lot of pressure. Scousers love a challenge.
3 wonderful recipes, and I'm sure their family, they will be so proud. But now we're gonna have to find out what our paying customers got to say. So join me next, because service is about to start.
Coming up, the cooks are keeping Gino on his toes.
Gino is working very hard, I have to say. He shouts all the time. Very Italian thing.
And it's chaos in the kitchen.
Come on, Gino.
Welcome back to There's No Taste Like Home, where today all you need is love. I'm in the home of the Beatles, Liverpool. The clock's ticking on my 3 home cooks, and very soon this beautiful restaurant is gonna be filled with paying customers. So I'll better go back in the kitchen and check on them. And while I do that, let's remind ourselves what's on the menu today.
Edie Pope is baking Grandma Tyra's rabbit and bacon pie, served with seasonal vegetables. A recipe that fed a large farming family with all the ingredients available locally.
Mum said, you'll never be good at baking, your hands are too big. But she did admit that she was wrong.
David Hakak is making his grandmother Farcha's Sabich, a vegetarian meal of stuffed pitta, originally cooked by Iraqi Jews on the holiest day of the week. The roots of this intricate dish are shrouded in mystery.
Well, Israelis will say this is their dish, which is incorrect, because Egyptian will claim it's theirs, Iraqi will claim it's theirs. You know what? It's tasty. Who cares whose it is?
And Perry NG, who is making his grandma Amma's Hokkien mee. Prawn and squid fried noodles served with a topping of crispy shallots and sliced limes. This dish travelled from Singapore to Liverpool when Perry's dad came in search of the Beatles.
Goes back to the 1930s. My grandmother's dish, then my grandmother then taught me auntie, who then taught me father, who then taught me.
It's almost lunchtime and the waiting staff are putting the final touches to the dining room for today's special service. In the kitchen, it's a hive of activity as our three home cooks make their final preparations.
Just hoping that, you know, I can get everything done on time and it looks nice and it tastes nice.
The food looks nice. I mean, all three dishes look really, really beautiful. Let's hope they taste as good as they look.
I'm a bit worried about service because every individual dish has got to be fried. So once the preparation's done and the service starts coming in, that's when I'll start panicking.
So, Edie, what's happening here?
I've made a gravy out of the stock of the rabbit. The mushrooms, bacon and shallot onions are all in there as well.
Very nice.
And it's now ready for its pie crust.
Oh, look at that. This looks amazing.
Try the gravy.
Oh, and I thought all you need is love. No, all you need is a good gravy. That's what we need. What do we need? Mwah! That's fantastic.
So, David, what's happening here? David, don't. What's happening here? I saw you kissing her. What about me?
Why are you getting all jealous in the kitchen? You need to get on with the cook. All right. Mwah. Now,
Excuse me, this one.
Mwah. Now, what's
you.
happening
You can
here?
go now.
What's happening here? I want to know what you're doing.
This is a hummus.
Okay, so you're
It's
preparing
chickpeas.
yeah?
You've got the garlic here.
Garlic goes in there.
You've got parsley.
Flat leaf parsley, right?
Yes, you
Can I
flat it
smell?
because, of course.
Beautiful. So, Perry, what's going on here?
I'm just whisking the edge, Gino. Everything else is prepared, ready to go.
Now, I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm a little bit concerned at the fact that you actually have to cook everything then and there.
Yeah.
We need to have a nice, clear plan because I want your recipe to shine, and I want all the customers there to think, you know what, this is the best noodles with prawns and squid I ever had.
I think it will. I'm sure it will.
For the family. For the family.
With a morning full of busy preparation, the hours have flown by. Outside, a queue of hungry diners have gathered, all eager to try the three historical dishes. It's the moment of truth for our cooks. The doors are opened and this restaurant is now ready for business. The customers in Liverpool are a discerning crowd, so our three home cooks will have to pull out all the stops to impress them.
Now, we're going to start service in about half an hour time, okay? So it's very important that I need to see the final dish, the way you're going to present it to the customer. I have to see it. I have to taste it. I have to see the presentation, the way you're going to put it together. So I'm going to give you about 10 minutes.
Fine.
Can you please bring me your final dish on the pass so then I can taste it? Okay, so everybody in the station, okay, and bring me the dish, okay?
Thank you.
Whilst the cooks plate up their dishes, Gino heads front of house to meet a very special diner, Edie's extremely proud daughter.
How are you? Are you okay?
Yeah, you.
Good. Good day so far?
Yeah, gorgeous.
He's working very hard, your mum in there. You know? Do you think she deserves to win?
Yeah, definitely.
Why?
Because she is the most amazing person I've ever met.
She's an amazing woman. I'll give you, I'll give you that. She's incredible.
Worked so hard for everything that she's got, and she's fab. I'm going to start crying. Yeah.
But it's true.
What would it mean to her to win today?
It mean everything. Everything. I'm falling up.
That's okay. That's fine. It's also the memory of your grandmother. I guess that's where it would come through.
Everybody absolutely adores her. She communicates with people on every single level, from a child to adults to old people. She works hard in the shop. She just loves everybody.
She's Wonder Woman. That's why I'm scared she's gonna hit me in the kitchen. That's why I'm trying to find out if she's gonna hit me in the kitchen. That's what I'm trying to find out. But I tell you what, I had a fantastic day with your mom today, and enjoy lunch. I didn't mean to make you cry. This is only joy. This is only joy. It's, tears of joy, by the way. You know, tears of joy. And I'll see you guys later. Okay?
Thank you.
At the end of lunch service, Gino will award one dish the honour of being on this restaurant's menu for a month. His decision will look at 3 main criteria: cost of ingredients, preparation time in the kitchen, and the reaction of the diners. It's Gino's job to ensure that every dish that leaves the kitchen tastes delicious and looks stunning. First to take the taste test is Edie with Grandma Tyra's rabbit and bacon pie served with seasonal vegetables.
Very beautiful seasoned pastry. And the rabbit, oh yeah. Tender, flakes away. You get the smokiness and the saltiness of the bacon coming through, which was absolutely beautiful. Now, this is one of the dishes that I can see why it's been in Edie's family for so long.
Next, Gino will taste David's Grandma Farcha's Iraqi-Jewish Sabich, stuffed pita bread, hummus and salad.
I think it's very pretty. Do I think there is an elegant way to eat this dish? I don't think so. Because if I come in a restaurant and I see this, there is only one thing that I want to do. Straight in. Oh. And I don't care if I'm messy. I don't care if I have egg on my nose or aubergine. This is lovely.
And finally, it's Perry's Grandma Amma's prawn and squid fried noodles, served with a topping of crispy shallots and slices of lime.
Now, the dish is absolutely tasty, beautiful, okay?
Yeah.
The only problem that I have here, for restaurant reason, is the presentation.
Right.
So what I want you to do is to put the stir fry together, and then the rings of the squids, just highlight them for me.
Okay.
Okay, so you can put all the beautiful prawns on top like that, like I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Okay? So all of a sudden, we lift up the plate and we make sure people knows exactly what they're gonna get straight away.
Okay.
A little bit of coriander on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just go for it.
Okay.
But the dish is absolutely beautiful. I'm going in for second, my friend. Really good.
Ladies and gentlemen, are we ready to order?
Now that Gino is happy with the taste and presentation of all 3 dishes, he allows service to begin.
It's very important that whenever I shout the order, that you answer me back, okay? And you need to tell me the timing, how long it's taking you to do your dish. Because I have to coordinate all the table together with all the dishes nice and ready. Are we ready?
Yes, Gino.
Okay, so everybody back to station, and we start in 30 seconds. Come on.
What may I get for you, ma'am?
Could I have Grandma's vegetarian pita, please?
And I'll have the prawn squid fried noodles, thank you.
Can I have the rabbit and bacon pie, please?
The vegetarian pizza.
Yeah, no problem. Okay.
Okay, guys, first order is in. 1 aubergine, 1 noodle. Hello? Yes, Gino. Okay. Edie, this is for you. 5 pies.
Okay, Gino.
Okay? How long?
5 minutes.
How long for the noodle?
5 minutes, Gino.
David, how long is it going to take to put this together? 2 minutes. Come on, guys. I know it's, you're out of your comfort zone, but please, let's push it. Let's do it for the families. Okay, 1 more order. 2 more noodles. So you got 7 in total. Okay, guys, 2 aubergine, 1 noodle, 2 more pies. Okay, we are at the beginning of service. Everything is okay, really. I mean, David has got everything under control. Edie, the pie is very quick to put together. The only problem we're gonna have is with Perry's dish because it takes 5 minutes. It's a concern that I had all day, and now actually is when it's he start to panicking me because I need to make sure all the dishes, they go out at the same time. So time is crucial.
It's a little bit panicky now. I haven't got a clue what's going on. I just keep on hearing Gino going through me head.
I need 4 noodles in total.
There he comes again.
4 noodles, Gino?
Yes, please. Come on. Let me see if you can walk this walk.
David is using his knowledge of psychology to take a more laid-back attitude.
It's all in here. You pretend you are in stress, but you shouldn't be in stress. What's the point to be in stress? People want to eat. Whatever you give them, they'll eat.
Now prepare yourself. I need 3 aubergine in total, yeah? Okay. You know you got 6 aubergine to do, yeah?
But will it work?
Is it bluffing me?
I'm gonna start to cry very soon if this dish doesn't come out.
Ready? Stop moaning. Right, you can start moving them now, young man.
Make sure the plate is nice and
I'm
clean.
going to do that now.
Remember, we are in a restaurant.
Like that.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. That's a beautiful dish. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Absolutely beautiful. Spot on with the prawns on top and the squid, yeah?
With all 3 dishes making the grade, Gino is happy for them to be served to the customers.
Rain, yours is looking gorgeous. Oh, that looks very Rain nice. Is yours.
Thank you.
Back in the kitchen, Perry is really struggling to cook to order.
Come on, Gino.
Just wait a minute.
The kitchen's full.
Come on, 2 more.
Pressure now, pressure.
Come on.
Hang on, Gino, hang on.
Lime. Come on, let's work together.
Okay, Gino.
Perry's problems are seriously delaying service, so Gino asks David to help.
How many do you need?
5.
Okay.
5 pies. How long?
1 minute.
Over in Edie's once calm and collected corner, she's now having her own kitchen drama with the rabbit pie.
You must make sure that they look all exactly the same you gave it to me, yeah?
Yeah.
Here, look the problem here. You have the...
That's
look.
not in the middle, is it?
You need to make sure that the crust is on top of the pie, not the other way around.
All right.
This is not an upside-down rabbit pie.
Okay.
Gino is working very hard, I have to say. He shouts all the time. Very Italian thing.
You got 4 aubergine, David.
You say thank you.
How long for these
He's
noodles?
teasing me now.
2 pies. Make sure your plates are hot.
They are hot, Gino.
How long for the 1 noodle?
5 minutes, Gino.
What, for 1?
This service is proving to be tough for our cooks, but are the diners enjoying their lunches?
I ordered the rabbit pie, and it's beautiful. Pastry is just so succulent. Meat, very well cooked. I've got the vegetarian pita. It's lovely. It's really tasty.
They've got the prawn and squid noodles, which looks fabulous and also tastes fabulous. It's got fried shallots on the top and the chilies, and it goes really well.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. Guys, the dishes are looking absolutely beautiful, by the way. So you should be... Edie? Edie? The dish looks beautiful.
Thank you.
So well done.
Thank you.
Just give 1 more push, guys. Perry, I know that you're under stress, but for me, please keep smiling. All right? And 1 more push and then we're done. Join me after the break because I'm going to have to make the decision which of these dishes they're going to be on this restaurant menu for 1 month. Don't go anywhere. Guys, 1 rabbit, 1 noodle.
Coming up.
And the winner today of There's No Taste Like Home is...
Chef Gino Di Campo is on a mission to prove there's no taste like home.
This is what good home food is all about. Simple as that.
He's found 3 home cooks with 3 historic family recipes. Together, they've taken over a restaurant in Liverpool. It's a full house, and as a result, the orders are coming through thick and fast. Our 3 home cooks have found it to be a tough challenge.
It's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog.
Service is nearly over and they are all hoping that Gino will pick their dish to feature on this restaurant's menu for a month.
Come on, we are on the last table.
Okay, Gino.
I got the last table in my hand. One more push, 3 noodles, 1 aubergine.
Okay, Gino.
How many portions of rabbit have you got?
3.
I'm good. Can I have 2 noodles?
Yes, Gino.
Come on. As soon as Perry wakes up with the other noodle, we are done.
What do you want now? Another 3?
Come on.
This is the last rabbit pie.
That's it. Table number 20. Guys, this was the last table. Well done. This was the last table. Okay? Well done. Well done. How do you feel? Tell me. I want to know exactly.
Fantastico. Fantastic.
Was it good?
Fantastico.
What about you, Edie? Did you
Thoroughly
enjoy?
enjoyed it, yes.
Is this something you would do it again?
Yes.
Now, to show you that I'm with you guys,
Yes.
I'm gonna go in a bar to have a drink. You're gonna stay here and clean up this chicha.
Service is now over and our cooks have done all they can to secure their dish a place on the restaurant's menu for a month. It's now up to the diners and the restaurant's head chef and manager to help Gino make his difficult decision.
I had the rabbit and bacon pie. It was absolutely gorgeous. I've had rabbit pie before, but never with bacon in it. And I think the bacon, you know, we could just taste it, and it was fantastic, amazing.
The vegetarian pita bread, and I found it to be really tasty. Everything that was on the plate was really fresh, really well put together. Everything worked together, was nothing sort of jarring with each other, and it sort of complemented each other and all worked alongside each other, but also worked individually.
I had the noodles. They were absolutely delicious. The chef's done a really, really good job. You can taste all the different spices running through the food. It's absolutely beautiful. And yeah, it does deserve a place on any good menu in any good restaurant, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, the diners seem to have enjoyed them, but which dish will Gino pick? Will it be Edie Pope and her grandma Tyra's rabbit and bacon pie? Served with seasonal vegetables, this recipe once fed a large farming family with all the ingredients available on the farm.
What would it mean to you and to your family and to the dish to win today?
Just to keep it going for generations to come, hopefully. As people are learning now to cook instead of all these prepared meals, I think they will try things like
So you're
this.
really doing it for your family, but also for all the farmers out there?
Yes, yes.
Or will it be David Hakak and his grandmother Farcha's Iraqi-Jewish Sabich? For generations, his family have held this vegetarian stuffed pita with hummus and salad dear to their hearts.
No one in England never heard of this dish before. And they're going to say, are there any more dishes, Iraqi-Jewish dishes? Well, there are.
Or will it be Perry NG, who made Grandma Amma's Hokkien mee, or prawn and squid fried noodles? This dish has travelled all the way from China to be enjoyed in Liverpool today.
Perry, what would it mean to you and to your family to have this dish on a restaurant menu?
It'd make me proud, it'd make my family very proud in Singapore, that the dish has come all the way from Singapore and it's ended up in a top restaurant in Liverpool.
So guys, did you enjoy your lunch? They were good, were they? Let me tell you something, the 3 cooks, they worked really, really hard. Since very early this morning, the preparation was very hot in the kitchen. They worked really hard. So I would like to introduce to you my 3 home cooks. Please, guys, come in. Are you tired?
Very tired.
Very tired. Well, let me tell you, I really enjoyed today. It's been a pleasure to meet you. It's been a pleasure to work with your recipe. It was absolutely great. We cannot 3 winners as far as concerning me, and I think as far as concerning everybody that tried the dish, we have 3 winners here already. But only one dish can win the honor of being on this restaurant menu for 1 month. And the winner today of There's No Taste Like Home is... David with the vegetarian pizza. Well done, man. Well done. Avi. Your dish. This is for you.
A worthy winner. I really didn't mind who won. I was happy to be a part of it.
My mum, my dad, my brother, my wife, all the family will be really proud that I've done it, that I've had the bottle to come on and do it.
Grandma probably will say, one, she would be very, very proud. But because she's coming from the old school and a man is not supposed to be a cook, then for her that would be very weird that a man can cook and actually win the competition. But it's fantastic. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
What an amazing day we had today. And of course, congratulations to David and his vegetarian pita bread. It was absolutely delicious. Now, guys, don't forget to join me next time as I continue my journey across the UK to find more home cooks, all eager to prove that does not taste like home. Well, if you want to try the dish yourself, or perhaps you want the details of the recipes featured on today's show, the only thing you got to do is go to itv.com/food.